Karibu tena mpendwa mtazamaji wa runinga ya Capuchin. Tunaendelea kukujulisha machache kati ya mengi yaliyotendeka katika wiki hiyo iliyopita na hii ambayo imeanza Kilitrujia. Na baada ya kushuhudia yaliyotendeka katika baraza la maaskofu na majibu ya rais, kuwekwa wakfu na kusimikwa kwa mahashamu wa askofu, pale mwisho baba askofu mkuu mwenyekiti wa baraza la maaskofu Mhashamu Morris Muhatia Makumba alitangaza kwamba huduma kwa vijana sasa ni tume, na tumepata wageni ambao wataendelea kutujulisha zaidi kuhusu ujumbe huo wa askofu. Karibuni wageni wetu wapenzi, na tunawapatia nafasi kujitambulisha, kwanza tukianza na padre.
Asante padre. Ndugu watazamaji, karibuni kwa maelezo mafupi ambayo tutayatoa kwa ajili ya hilo tengo ambalo limewekwa katika baraza la maaskofu. Na kwanza ningetaka kujitambulisha kwenu. Kwa majina ni Padre Cosmas Mwova. Padre Cosmas Mwova ni msaliwa wa jimbo la Wote, lakini mimi ni padri wa Machakos kulingana na sheria za kanisa, na nimetokea parokia ya Kalawa. Kalawa iko Mbohoni East ama Mbohoni Mashariki, na kwa wakati huu na hudumu kama mkurugenzi wa kitaifa wa vijana. Na kama vile tumesikia kutoka kwa padri ni kwamba Jumamosi iliyopita tulipata kusikia mambo mageni kwetu, na yalikuwa kabisa tuyatarajii, lakini yaliweza kutokea kwetu kwamba kitengo ambacho naongoza cha vijana katika baraza la maaskofu katika kitengo cha walei limeweza tenganishwa na kitengo cha walei, na hivi sasa inaweza kujisimamia yenyewe. Hivi ni kumaanisha kwamba mambo yote ambayo tunayafanya tutakuwa tuna report moja kwa moja kwa baraza la maaskofu wa Kikatoliki Kenya.
Asante kwa ujumbe huo, na pengine mgeni wetu mwingine ujitambulishe, ujitaje na ofisi yako.
Asante sana. Kwa majina ni Joseph Bill Oburu. Mimi mzaliwa natokea jimbo la Kikatoliki la Ngong Diocese, kutoka kanisa dekania ya Kiserian. Parokia yetu inaitwa St. Ignatius Ole Kasasi Parish. Na kwa hivi sasa na hudumu katika ofisi yetu kama kiongozi ama mwenyekiti wa kikundi cha vijana. Nimekuwa pale kwa miaka, sasa huu ni mwaka wangu naelekea wa pili kwa uongozi, na ni baraka tu na neema.
Asante sana, karibuni na asante kwa kupata muda. Tueleze Bill, ofisi yako mko na kina nani, wengine wako wapi, na ni ofisi zipi hizo?
Pale katika ofisi yetu kabla sasa tumepandishwa, angalau tumekuwa vile father alikuwa anasema commission. Before then we had the chaplain ambaye sasa ilikuwa ni yeye, alafu chini yake mimi mwenyekiti, and then chini yangu kulikuwa na msaidizi anatokea jimbo kuu la Nyeri, na alikuwa anaitwa John Githinji, and then chini yake kuna secretary by the name Rosemary Wambui. She comes from the Archdiocese of Nairobi, and then there is the vice secretary sasa ambaye anatokea alikuwa anatoka bado katika jimbo kuu la Nyeri, na chini yake kuna treasurer. Our treasurer comes from Mombasa Archdiocese by the name Mary Mwelu, and then we have our organizing secretary who comes from Eldoret Diocese by the name Felix Kimutai. Then we serve the National Youth Council, which incorporate viongozi wote kutoka majimbo yote 27 including the military ordinariate.
Wow. Thank you for that brief. Padre, tell us, share with us in your comfort language. You talked about what you have been under in the Commission of Pastoral and the Apostolate. What would that have meant? That what were you reporting and whom were you reporting to, and what's the difference now that you'll be a commission?
Yeah, thank you. In every commission, there is that structure that runs down to the last person or unit. And we have in the commission, we have the chairman, bishop, and then we have the vice chairman, bishop in that particular commission. Then down next to the third position, we have the national executive secretary. And then from there, the other offices or department comes in if it's a big commission like the pastoral and lay apostolate, which has got two departments within it. We have the family life, and we have the youth department where we were before we were meant a commission. And probably when you are reporting, because of that chain of reporting, as myself, in my position, I was reporting as a chaplain to the National Executive Secretary, who also reports to the conference. Although sometimes we usually use a language that is, we usually call them shadows, so that when he is not there, I can maybe do the reporting, or maybe I can do some few things, not all of them, but by delegation, I do some few things. And that is how it has been working. But now it means that the person in charge of the commission in terms of priests or below the bishops has to report to the bishops immediately in the same line we were doing. Now I'm not reporting to priests, my brother priest, I will be reporting direct to the bishops in terms of reporting, giving reports. In whatever we write, we consult with the bishops. If they give us a go-ahead to take the report to the conference, starting from the permanent council, then to the plenary of the plenary assembly of the bishops, then it becomes it is actually endorsed at that level. That's why the Archbishop of Kisumu, the chairman of the conference, on Saturday did say that now they have approved the youth commission split from the lay apostolate commission. So it is independent. Now it will handle its things independently from the lay apostolate.
How did you arrive there? How did they arrive there? Did you make an appeal? Did you make an application? Did you do some lobbying? How did you split, or how was it split? Did you ask for it, or they decided by themselves?
Well, I want to say that we didn't ask for it because, you know, by the fact that they are our shepherds, they know better than us, and especially what the church and the groups need. But from the interactions and the kind of engagement they have with their younger people, I want to say it is out of that kind of interaction, the love there for the young people in the country, that they came out and saw and actually at some point the chairman of the conference did express something that ought to have maybe given maybe some people's an eye open alike. He did say we need much time with our young people, and that is what I want to say, that we want to thank our shepherds, the conference, that they decided to make it a commission so that we have more time to interact with the younger people more than before. Of course, we did interact, but it will be more interactive than before. Again, also, we want to thank them. And this is because they have expressed as before and as always has been, that it is more and more to the younger people. I also want to say that they did good because we will be able to put more programs closer to the younger people in terms of the national level, the ecclesiastical province level, then the son level, then the deanery level, and then the parish, and then to the last unit of the church, which is the outstation. Thank you.
Maybe I talked to Billy. Maybe what does it mean to the youth when this development has come up? What does it mean to you? What do you expect to get, or what do you think will happen?
I think for we as the young people, again, I would like to thank the bishops, the conference, so much, because for us it means a lot, a lot. From the experiences, we have been talking of a synodal church where we want to see our shepherds walking with us. Sometimes the young people would say, and the expression kwamba, we want them also to feel what we feel. Sometimes when we seem inakaa kama wako mbali sana, but now the way the commission has been set up and we are able to reach them directly. Our issues can be addressed more quickly. The challenges, like now what you were seeing the other day, the maandamano, the things the young people were raising. These are things now that can get very fast to them. And it's a great, even in our pastoral, it's a big step for us as young people, and we know there will be a lot of change even in the ministry and how we have been doing things. We expect, actually, for us this is a new dawn. We hope that going forward our activities, our impact will be felt more, because now we have shepherds who are walking with us. We know that they were not walking with us before, but there is more impact that can be felt from this new development.
Maybe now that you have this new forum, and I know you've dealt with the youth for some time, maybe what are some of the challenges you've been facing with the youth, especially in the church?
There are so many. Maybe I can list a few. One is there's been a challenge, especially among the young people, in terms of empowerment. Two, young people have always the faith. You see, we realize that at a certain point in time, once they achieve after holy kipaimara, ikishapita that stage, it's very difficult to keep following up on young people, because it's a very dynamic age. So unapata, once they go to the universities, once they go to, you get it very difficult to keep following them. So by the time wanarudi, there are so many, it's a stage where kila mtu anataka anawa target. We were talking the other day and we were saying it's one of those stages where the entire world, the sports industry is targeting them, the music industry is targeting them, the political nini pia in our target. So it's a very vulnerable stage for young people. But now you see, when we have such an inina kuwa rahisi, then also there is the issue of economy, the new challenges that we are facing. So these are things that are pushing young people further away from the church. Na the issue ya opulence, so many things. So unapata mahali inafika point ya the church, we feel it's a little bit far away, they don't. So but when we have such nini, we are realizing we are able to get to them through the programs we are creating through the youth office. But those are some of the few challenges that I've realized tuko nazo very serious in the church.
Tunaongea na Padre Cosmas Mwova na Joseph Bill Oburu ambao ni wasimamizi wa vijana katika ofisi ya taifa baada ya baba maaskofu kuweka vijana katika tume kwa vijana. Padre, we have come a long way. You know, when you are growing up, we don't have too much attention from the church hierarchy. The youth programs have just come by, and we have just concluded the synod, 3 years of synod. Is this a product of the synod, or it's something that has been cooking, as we have seen the Gen Zs bringing a revolution in the country?
Yeah, I want to separate the two entities from what you've asked. You put two. One, you've mentioned the synod and the synodality. You have mentioned the Gen Z, and I don't want to relate the Gen Z issue with the synodality, because the synod and the synodality, it is something that has really worked for years and years, right? It is only that it has come and to put so many people on board. I want to say that probably it could be one of the products of the synod, because of the three principles, that is participation, communion, and the mission, that we want to make each and every member of the church, including the small one, the little ones, the PMC, part of the church in terms of participation. We also want to bring that communion, because you remember the underlining word here within the synod is journeying together. I think this becomes now part of journeying together with the younger people by the fact that this commission has been created. I want to very much appreciate the synod, because after it was, I don't want to say we are lucky, but I want to say we are blessed, because we had two of our archbishops. We had Archbishop Anthony Mweria, and Archbishop Martin Kivuva, who represented the conference at the synod in Rome. And one of the things I listened to them after they came, one was in Embu, Archbishop Mwaria mentioned something that touched me about the synod, and it connected so well with the commission of the youth and what the youth are going through, that as much as we want to include and work together, it is good to listen. The word listen, I got that point, that it is good to listen, because we can walk together silently, which doesn't make sense, but listening to each other as we walk, so that in case there is anything we want to consult about, we are able to do so. The issue of Gen Z, I want to say that it wasn't meant for the church. It is a country thing, it's about governance, and I want to thank our bishops. In fact, after they voiced the 7 points, I think every Kenyan is waking up. People of goodwill are waking up to, not to support. I want to say they were not weak points that they needed support. They were very strong. They don't need support. It is only you and I to adjust to the points as strong as they are, and we make our country a better place. Not to say that it is because of the church and all that. It's about every Kenyan, because it's not about the church alone. The church comes in as members, you know, so that at least we don't say it is as a result of the Gen Zs, because those who went to the streets, they are not only Catholics. They were all people from all walks of life, and it's about governance of the country and all that, and all what relates to that. But about, particularly on the synod, I want to say it is a positive thing that we are journeying together. And I think it has an impact when we hear there is a commission for the youth, particularly by its own, a commission. I think the younger people, wherever they are watching at us, they should be proud of this. Yeah.
Joseph, do you have anything to add to what Father has said in terms of the recognition from the Conference of Catholic Bishops about the youth affairs, and what the youth have been doing over the last few months in terms of calling for proper administration of the Kenyan resources?
Yeah, I think again to add, for us it's a big journey, and I'm waiting also, because we have been praying, not that we knew it was coming, but it is also a gift. It's a gift to us. Kwamba where we are right now, it's at that point where we now feel at least kama we are there. We are seated with them, even in the decision making process. We are being heard, and I want to assure even the young people that from the interactions I've had with the various bishops whom we have met over time, it is really positive. They are really encouraging, and they are trying also to understand where to come in. And it's also high time for us as young people to be open and not only expect something from the church, but also be prepared to give something to the church. I remember early this year we had a program where we were saying it is the youth for the church and the church for the youth. So that it begins with you being in the church, and then now you can, with your effort and what you put in, there's something you will be able to get back. It calls for sacrifice anyway. In terms of the political, I know there is hope. Nothing leaves Itakamda for a long time. So I remember I loved when I was watching Pope John Paul II. In one of his speeches, he said something very beautiful. He was talking to the young people in Poland, and he was telling them, evil devours itself. So eventually, one time or the other, all these things we are seeing, itaisha tu, itajimaliza yenyewe na mambo itajikula kabisa.
Maybe now that we've talked about the Gen Zs, and during those protests, there's something which came out very strongly, that most of the political leaders who are leading now the country are Christians, and whatever they are telling people, it's like lies, and then maybe they are not leading us in the right direction. And most of the youth, most of them said that they think that the church is not the right place, some of them. I don't know, what is your take on that? Because the youth need to be controlled and brought back to the church.
For the Gen Zs to say that they thought, probably they thought, and in their thinking, I may not be able to say as to it is true that the church was the wrong place, because at the end of the day, the church is taking care of two important things. Number one, the church is taking care of their souls. Whether you go to this deep to the sea, whether you are where the soul is taken care of by the church. Number two, the church takes care of your spiritual life in terms of social life, how you interact, and even through the social teachings of the Catholic Church, it actually enumerates all what it entails of a human being. And that's why when the Gen Zs, even there is an hashtag that they did say, occupy the church. I thought that was positive about it, because they wanted to defend the church. They wanted to be the soldiers. If then that is the right meaning of why they should not say, because they are the same people who did say that hashtag occupy the church. And I think that was positive. If they continue by saying we occupy the church by protecting the church from bad behaviors, that kind of engagement, corrupt ways, and all that, then let them protect the church from such a kind of bad things, immorality and all that. So that now, when it comes for them to hashtag and say, occupy the church, let them be the first, as it were, and they have been. And I'm so happy from the interactions and all that, and where I've been is a witness. We've been going to most of the churches, and we've enjoyed being with the younger people and their participation also, so that we also want to see them occupy the church, to do away with the boredom in the churches. They are the best people, they are the most creative people, they are the most innovative. They can actually use all those talents and skills to enhance their faith, to evangelize, to exchange, so that now it's about occupying the church in the good way to promote their faith, not to use the church platforms to insult or maybe to propagate or something that is not well with the church teachings, because it's about bringing each and every other member into the church, but not face. Even the politicians, they are our Christians, but there is a way also to interact. I love the way even some will come out and say, but we are also members of the same church. You are telling us not to come in. It is true. They are members. They are our Christians. But also when it comes to the issues of politicizing the whole thing and all that, then that is not right. But it is right if we occupy the church with that sense of actually promoting the principle of inclusivity. Yeah.
Tunashukuru wale wote ambao wanaendelea kutufuatilia hasa kwenye mtandao. James Ng'ang'a, asante kwa ujumbe wako kuhusu Mhashamu Bata Van Megen na ujumbe wake wa kujenga. Teresa Kemunto anasikiliza kutoka Murang'a. Asante sana. Wamunga Ernest kutoka seminari ya Mtakatifu Toma wa Aquino, na mwingine hapa anasema anatutazama kutoka Nakuru, na mwingine hapo ametutakia amani, thayu wa Mwathani, amani ya Kristo. Katika tume hili ambalo baraza la maaskofu limeunda, tunaweza kusema wamechagua askofu kijana. Kwa heshima yote kwa Mhashamu Henry Juma Odonya, ni padre mchanga, na katika vile ambavyo unakuta kuangalia maaskofu ni askofu kijana. Mwenyekiti wenu.
I think kwa upande wangu it's also again a gift. That's why me when I look at it I see a lot of wisdom. And I'm waiting to see also now how itakuja ku play out. But I'm really happy because there are so many things. The other day we were talking when we had our planning meeting, we were talking about bridging the gap as a theme. And bridging the gap, we are talking of how do we break kule juu. We realized even down huko chini mashinani kwamba there is a big gap between the parish leaders. Kuna wale ambao ni wazee sana na kuna sasa the young people who are coming in, and you realize now we have a young bishop who has been put in charge of, he may be able to understand some of the things very fast. Not saying kwamba wale wengine hawangeweza, lakini there may be something, an added extra, a charism that may come with him being young. I remember when Pope John Paul II was being put as an archbishop, he was really young. And you could see the big impact it created all over the world. Mpaka sasa wakati aliyekwa Papa Mtakatifu, the young people still related with that because wanasema huyu tulikuwa na yeye, alikuwa na kaka sisi, hata they can listen to that message more impactful in one way or the other.
Now, Bill, pick it from there still, that you are preparing for the National Youth Event in Subukia on Saturday 30th in Subukia. Take us through, what have you prepared and what is it all about?
So the event is I would like to tell the young people it's actually a very exciting program. It's built for them. The convention is carrying talks, different talks, especially this year we want to talk about digitization and technology, mambo ya AI na imani. These are topics that are very, very interesting. How do we young people engage in social media? The other day you saw 50 million during the Twitter storm. Watu on X ndio walipangia hii mambo ya maandamano. So is it possible then for us to spread our faith hapo? And also how do we share our faith in a modern world? Those are talks that we want to have. And also the challenges. The theme for the entire event is from Isaiah 40 verse 31. This was the theme the Pope shared with us also very early in the year. And we want also some of the program will close with Mass. We'll have also entertainment from young people and interludes of what do we call them, the shows, zile za pre-shows za kuplay the different clips from the World Youth Day, from our representatives who attended, what they learned during that. That is the message we want our young people to engage with. The purpose of this is actually to relieve those who were not able to attend the World Youth Day in Portugal, Lisbon last year. Now we want them to give them that experience through this National Youth Convention.
So I'll pick it from there because you are in the committee. What have you arranged in terms of liturgy and whatever Bill is talking about?
Yeah, thank you, Bill, for that, and I'm happy that I have a moderator who can articulate these things so well. I'm really moved by that. So, in terms of liturgy for the event, because it's our event, I call it our event because it's for the younger people, and you can be sure it cannot bore at all because of the creativity they have. We've started from because the event is not about liturgy alone; it has a lot. But I want to be specific on the liturgy. Right from we have actually arranged some of the things within that time before we start Mass itself. We have a vigil that will run from the 29th. Those who will come on the 29th evening, they will have a vigil where we will have some moment of prayer with our younger people, being at Subukia, where our CW and the CMA and other groups usually go on the first Saturday of October for prayer. We want to introduce our younger people to this particular place, this Marian village, where our younger people will get into the culture of prayer in terms of going to Subukia. So we will have a vigil. Then after the vigil, and so within the vigil, immediately after the vigil, some time of adoration, we will have some talks from the bishops who will be with us. We want to have a close connection with our shepherds in terms of speaking to us, and within that moment where we will have adoration and the talks, we have actually identified topics related to this. When you read Isaiah 40 verse 1, it speaks about hope. And you remember, Father, at this moment and time we have a challenge with our younger people. They need to hear something about hope. That they have a lot to go, they have gone through a lot, and they want to hear the word hope explained in different tongues, explained in different terms, and actually expressed by their shepherds, so that now we start catching up in connection with this new commission for the youth affairs, so that at least they have that. Then after that it goes up to the morning. I want to be brief. Then probably at around 7, we will now begin conversions. You know, it is something good for our younger people, since we will be taking them for a spiritual nourishment. We want them to experience the love of God, the mercy of God through the sacrament of reconciliation. And we've invited our chaplains or the directors from different dioceses to accompany or to come before the D-Day, so that they spend a night there. They wake up with the younger people from different parts of the shrine, so that we allow and let our younger people go for the sacrament of reconciliation, because it has its own benefit to the younger people. We want them to be connected spiritually with their Creator. Then finally we join for Mass proper, and we have divided it into, actually we didn't want, because it's a national event, we didn't to particularize or to be animated by a particular diocese. In Kenya, you remember we have 4 provinces. That is Kisumu province, ecclesiastical province, we have Nyeri, we have Nairobi, itself here where we are, and we have Mombasa. So ecclesiastical province of Kisumu will be animating. And what does it mean? They will take us through the songs, the liturgical dancers, and they will do some part of the reading. They will do the readings. They're the ones to do the readings. That means not one diocese within that ecclesiastical province, but all the dioceses within that province, they have actually divided amongst themselves. But in the singing, we will all join, because the Catholic Church is one. Whether you come from Garissa, whether you come from Mombasa, Malindi, Lodwar, once the song is intoned, we all join. Then within that particular time, we also decided to allow our younger people, maybe after Mass, or probably around there after Mass, we wanted our younger people to express themselves. We have some talent shows, as you have said, some testimonials from our younger people. We want to see how our younger people feel, because it is about he did say that it is about we, ourselves, and in that particular group. Not them to sit down and watch things happen, but they are here and they want to come to participate in some of these things. Just to underline something very sensitive about it is that we have invited these younger people to come and pray. That's very key, to pray. So that when we enter into the center, or we enter into the village of Mary, the Marian village, we are sure we've gone there to pray.
Padre, just to take you along that line, we have seen in the festivals that you people have, music festivals, games festivals. With all due respect, there are some who are very, very particular and rooted in faith. But we have seen some elements where they go beyond the expectations of their chaplains, of their patrons, and of their moderators. How do you ensure that all those who will be going to Subukia, first of all, are Catholics, and they are going to abide the rules of the game?
Maybe to react on that, that would mean in terms of security of our younger people, we've already put some logistics on the security of our younger people, right from where they come from. We have written to the police service so that they can provide us with a letter not to stop them on their way, so that at least there are no many and all that, a series of stopovers and all that by the police. And in case they do, they can actually produce that letter that shows that they are supposed to attend that meeting. Then at the venue, we have we've made arrangements on how our younger people are protected. And even those who will come for the vigil that night on the 29th, there are police officers we've deployed and we've organized, so now we can have our younger people actually protected and safe on that particular. Then we also have, we've organized with the NYS simply because we considered the age, so that there is good interaction with them. You know, probably when we use we use the police, we don't want to scare our younger people there. The spirit between the police and the younger people has never been always good in terms of interaction and all that, but we wanted to use our young people. That's why we used the word us for us. We for the church and the church for us in terms of serving the church. And we use the same people to protect themselves. They know better than we do. Sure. In fact, some of the things we got from the Security Council, in terms of our preparation, some were telling us, you just use people who can actually understand the tricks of these young people. Of course, they know and we know. All of us are at this, we understand this. So we have a lot, we cannot disclose each and everything, or now because of course, security issues again, but we've organized for their security so that they are very safe, those who will spend there, and even during the day. Because also, we've also organized on their way of, because there's been a congestion during other previous prayer days and all that about the traffic jam around there. We've also organized with the police so that now they control. We are also using some of our younger people from the diocese so that at least they get it. The other thing is about, we are using some of our younger people, that we are getting some nurses to take care of those who may get sick, those who may, because that will not be our prayer and wish, those who may. We have our nurses, and where do we get them? Majority of the nurses, over 70, they are our students, because we are getting university students from our different universities. They are coming over with that expertise and skill so that they can help their young, their brothers and sisters. Yeah, thank you.
Maybe I take you behind. Looking at the activities, because we have some young people who are abusing substance out there, who maybe don't attend the church. They don't know what happens in the church. Sometimes you talk to them, they don't know why they should come to the church. Maybe you can let them in brief know some of the activities you take in church, maybe the liturgical activities or other activities which can bring them back to church.
Yes, the youth is actually a very vibrant. It's that one stage. Pope Francis anasema it's that one stage that is, you are full of energy. The church can't be the church minus the young people. There is an energy they pump into the church that brings, again, he also calls the church upper youthful church. So the young people have a lot of space. They should never let themselves be cheated kwamba you do not have space kwa kanisa. From dancing in the liturgy, you bring, at least in our culture, the bishops even recognize kwamba for us, dancing is part of and parcel of our liturgy. It's something that has been there even in our African tradition. So you can bring something to the church. Singing in the choir, there is a lot you can do in terms of music. You have talent, mbona uende kuficha kule kwingine, and you can bring it here on the table. There is something you can bring and you change. If you never like mambo, maybe vile father anasema, labda inakaa ni kitu, we leta, weka, wakuambie, hii labda, but bring it to the church. There is drama, music. We have been doing evangelization. We never call our programs competitions. We call them faith-sharing programs. So these faith-sharing programs, when the young people come, we get to see a lot of talent from the acting, plays, films, oral narratives, traditional folk dances. Actually, this year, for those who are, wenye tunasema labda wamekaa, this may be your year. Kuja, we have the National Music and Drama Festivals coming in the year 2025. They will be in December at Mombasa. So we are praying kwamba you bring, this is your opportunity to come, bring something to the church through the faith sharing program. Let people see that there is somewhere you can fit. There is space for everyone. They have even the new things that are coming, like today we are talking of poetry, spoken word, skits, films, short films. This is a space where the young people can potentially dive in and have something actually for evangelization. So that's why I was saying there is no space for somebody to cheat you kwamba there is no space for you as a young person. So unaweza pata kama hata you are umekwama kule, maybe it's because you felt there is no space for you, but the church is creating this space for the young people to come and engage. And this will be the best time to use that energy. I remember in Sirach inasema, unajenga ukiwa sahi kwa ujana wako. Ukikuja kuzeeka kama ujajenga sahi, then hakuna kitu utakuja kujenga ukiwa itakuwa ngori.
Yaliyotendeka ni kwamba baba maaskofu wameteulia vijana tume ya huduma kwao. Maana yake hawako chini sasa ya tume ya uinjilishaji ama pastoral department. Sasa wamepewa tume kama vijana, na tuko naye hapa Padre Cosmas Mwova, baba mlezi ama chaplain wa vijana katika taifa letu, na mwenyekiti wa vijana katika ngazi ya kitaifa Joseph Bill Oburu. Na tunapoendelea kumalizia, tunawashukuru ameendelea kutufuatilia. Benson Muilu anafuatilia na Alex Mutua pamoja na wengi. Kwa kifupi tunapomalizia, Bill, mambo mawili ambapo umetaja kwamba yatafanyika. Kwanza, kutakuwa na maungamo. Kuna wale ambao pengine wanao kama vijana hawaendi maungamo. Je, ni kweli ama pengine kuna wale ambao bila shaka wanaogopa kidogo kwenda kwa Father? Na katika siku ya kitaifa ya sala, wengi ambao wanaenda pale, hasa wanawake, wanachukua maji ya baraka. Sijui kama vijana wana hiyo imani ya maji ya baraka pamoja na maungamo. Kwa kifupi.
I know it's true. Maybe I begin with the first one. Yeah, confessions. It's true kwamba there is a challenge confessions among the young people, but again also there is a good number who believe in confessions. Maybe some things zenye zinaweza kuwa challenging and they may not be factual or true, but it's a notion ama misconception that maybe Father one day mkiwa they will clear up kwamba some may be fearing the priest, maybe because I know them, najua. Then others may not believe it because unapata maybe the way you live, the state you live in does not allow you to actually see. So you become veiled spiritually na unashindwa kuona umuhimu wa the confession. So for you to protect yourself from going there to strip off your nini, unaona wacha. So maybe for them I would like to encourage, confession is actually not, it's an in of mercy, it's an act of love and mercy, the Father was saying, and it is a gift from God to us. Kwamba it's the best way we can get back to Him. And then for the second part, the issue ya maji ya baraka. I want to believe the young people also have as much faith as the old people who go there and believe in the water, blessed water. So I want to hope kwamba we'll also see young people go there with a belief kwamba there is something we can get from it. But also encourage them kwamba the faith, we share the same faith. So if the parents also can believe in it, why can't the young people believe there is something in it? Personally, mimi najua nikienda pale, I would like to have some for my...
Yes, actually I want to put more weight on the issue of the sacrament of reconciliation. Briefly, I want to give the benefits of this sacrament, not only to the younger people, but even to all the Christians as a priest, that have done a lot of research on this sacrament, and I based this on the prodigal son. And I got around 7 things where this young man, when he came, number one, he came back to senses. When we are going to the sacrament, for the sacrament of reconciliation, number one, come back to senses. Until then, you are not yet. Number one, come back to the senses. Number two, you understand, when this son ran back home and the father saw him from far, the first thing that this son received from the father was a kiss, a sign of love, as you said. Number two, immediately after he received that lovely kiss or hug, the father did say, we need a nice pair of sandals. Number 4, we need a nice robe. There's nothing that is said to be in tatters. Everything was nice, nice. Number 5, he did say, it's not enough to have a nice robe. We need to eat the best, please, for this son. Number 6, we need to celebrate. And in celebration, you cannot just celebrate. There is music. There's music. My friends, this sacrament of reconciliation, you experience a lot. Please, let's go for this sacrament. It's nice.
Asante sana Padre kwa muhtasari huo wa huruma ya Mungu katika sakramenti ya upatanisho. Tumekuwa tukiongea na Padre Cosmas Mwova, mwenyekiti wa vijana katika ngazi ya KCCB ambayo sasa hivi ni Tume, na mwenyekiti wa vijana katika taifa letu Joseph Bill Oburu ambaye ametoka katika Jimbo Katoliki la Ngong. Maneno yako ya mwisho Joseph Bill, kwa mwaliko kwa vijana ama ujumbe wako wote.
I want to invite the young people to the program. Please, if you are watching from wherever you are watching from, this is an opportunity to come and share faith with the young people. Among the key things Pope Francis invites us to do, especially when we are expressing the World Youth Day, is faith sharing. So come see the different cultures because we have people from Marsabit, Lodwar, Garissa, Kwetu, Masaini, Ngong, all the way from Homa Bay, Migori, all over across the country. So it's one of those rare opportunities you can come and see the different youth cultures coming together and having one unique national event. So I would like to invite them. There is a lot to learn. There are so many programs to come and get empowered through or get kusoma from these programs. So I wish to invite them. Try your best, mini capability usikose. And even if they miss, we'll give them a chance to stream it from wherever they will be. So I invite them and welcome them all to the program.
Yes, mine is to thank the Capuchin TV for the work you are doing, and especially making evangelization easy for us by reaching to the young people. That we've sent that invitation to our younger people wherever you are. We welcome you to this place, and I want to assure you of 3 things that you can be sure you will not miss once you are there. Number 1, there will be a lot of renewal of your spiritual life. That one you can be assured. Number 2, there will be a lot of repair of the broken pieces of yourself. Kindly come. We experience this kind of repair. And thirdly, it will be a time to refresh your spiritual life. Thank you and may God bless you. Karibuni sana. Karibuni sana.
Naam, mpenzi mtazamaji, tunaendelea mbele and I would like to leave this with you, these points with you. The first thing, stand to be counted as a Christian wherever you are. Nafasi ambayo umeshika pale, uwe wewe ni mtu wa CMA, uwe wewe ni mtu wa CWA, uwe wewe ni mwana youth, ama wewe ni PMC, just do your work. You have a space in church, kama vile mwenzangu amesema hapa ya kwamba kuna nafasi ya kila mmoja. Do what you are supposed to do. 2, for our political leaders, kindly get to know that you were elected to serve the people. Kindly serve the people the way they are supposed to be served. Nashukuru sana kwa kuwa pamoja na sisi kuanzia mwanzo mpaka sasa hivi. Tukutane hapo kesho katika kipindi cha Tumshangilie kwa Tenzi. Jina langu ni Gabriel Muteti, kila wakati ninakuenzi.
Asante sana wageni wetu, mwenzangu Gabriel Muteti. Vijana hawa wanakualika katika ibada hiyo ya imani tarehe 30 ya mwezi huu wa 11 katika mlima wa Subukia. Tumekuwa nao wasimamizi wao na viongozi wao. Na basi tunapotamatisha, tunakushukuru wewe mtazamaji kwa kuendelea kutuenzi na kufuatilia matangazo yetu. Kwa namna ya pekee tungependa kuwashukuru sana waumini wa Jimbo Katoliki la Embu kwa ukarimu na ukaribu wenu kwetu tulipowatembelea wikendi iliyopita. Basi kwa niaba ya wote waliofanikisha kipindi hiki, Mungu akubariki na kukulinda. Endelea kutazama runinga ya Capuchin, kitambulisho chako Katoliki. Mimi ndugu Francisco Mkapuchini, Peter Owero.